if the crisis comes into your life. If you cannot handle the crisis into your life, you cannot handle the crisis of an institution. You cannot handle the crisis of an institution, right? These skills are to be taught in this type of, let's say, non-credit classes. And self-reflection, you have to be reflect. Your reflection should be right there. Critical thinking. If I say something good, you shouldn't say it is good. You have to be like Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha said, whatever that comes, don't trust that one. Trust by your inner self, right? Anyone can tell you anything, but you have to have the self-critical thinking. Problem solving, whenever comes, life is the pile of the problems. And you shouldn't think that the life is the bed of roses. It's partly thorny, partly challenging. But those who can face the challenges, they can have the rewards. And then you have to take the challenges and the opportunities. Those people who take the challenges and the opportunities can lead in the life, okay? So these are the important things to be taken. Interpersonal skills. You know, one can have one skill, another person can another skill. You see, in these days, they don't see your certificates, but they see your attitude and aptitude, your dress up, your personality, your confidence, right? If you go to an interview in an office and there is you have come from the hot weather outside there, and there is the Coke, Fanta and other things, and then you wanted to drink it. If you drink the water and the Coke without asking your boss, they will fire you from the job. They will not hire. If you ask, would it be okay if I can have a glass of water, please? And then they will hire you in a job. Got my point? Attitude and aptitude. They are very important things. So now, everyday survival skills. Now, every day you have to survive. How you survive in the jungle, how you survive in the hardship. Please keep in your mind that as it has been difficult for you people to survive in Dhangadi coming down from the mountains, you know, I see some private teachers having only 15,000 of salary a month. How can they survive? House rent, children, they have the scooters, bikes, and so on and so forth. They have to have spend money for the personal hygienic things, right? And if you go to Kathmandu and have the less salaries, how can you survive? And how on earth if you go to the foreign countries? They are not our parents, they support you, us, right? They are the, let's say, deserts. Whether you work skillfully, survive or die, right? Now, how to handle crisis and emerging problems in life? How to get and from ups and downs in life? These are the skills you have to learn. How to handle unexpected, unpleasant situations. When you have been working over there in the office, let's say other country's person come and you manhandle you, right? And how to tackle those situations. So, and then how to handle the, let's say, machines. You know, you have to be tactful in using the machines. People going to this, let's say, Korea have come up with losing their hands in other countries, right? Have you ever seen? So they didn't know how to handle the machines. So, and laundering, right? Laundry, cleaning the clothes. Now, importance of book reading. Now, you have to, what happens? You are the academic student and you have to learn, let's say, importance of book reading. If you read the books, build self-regulation, also known as the, let's say, executive function. If you read the good principles from the book, you know the executive roles. And then, if you read the good books, it teaches you empathy. That's empathy means you can have, let's say, the sense of feeling and honors as other human beings, as you feel that about yourself. And then impresses, let's say, concentration increases. Once you read the good book, it develops concentration. We Nepalese people barely read. We teachers barely read. What to talk about you students? We don't read at all. We don't have the reading culture. So now, expose, let's say, the students to the diversity and different perspectives. When you have been watching these science movies or let's say these, let's say, time machine movies and other things, it gives you different perspective, right? If you read different books give you the different cultures right there. Now, acquisition of problem solving. Now, you learn the knowledge, how can you solve the problem? And let's say you re-originate your abilities, and then you can develop your online learning through learning and learning approaches. You follow up different approaches and then you develop your skills. So now, if you read the courses, you can be well-rounded education throughout your, let's say, supplement with plenty of real-world skills. Now, once you study, then you see the real skills over there, right? There is one, Dale Carnegie's book, How to Influence the People, how to win the heart and influence the people, right? Skills are to be made over there. Once you're gonna go for the marketing. You know the skills of marketing. If you know the skills of the marketing, you have to sell the comb for a bar-laden person. Got my point? And you have to sell it. So now, general skills. They have to have the general skills, like let's say confidence skill. One of the greatest skill is confidence, right? Another skill is about, let's say, stress alternative skills, decision making skill, stress management skill, adjustment skill in diverse environment, self-awareness skill. You have to live consciously. Okay? The skill of negative tendency. Now, there have been some people, whenever you talk the good things, they keep on talking about negativity, right? There are some complaining personalities. Do you know complaining personalities? They complain their home, they complain their parents, they complain their country, they complain their school, they complain their workplaces, right? So the negativity, that shouldn't be right there, okay? And then they all the time, let's say, complain, negative tendency towards wrongdoing. Now, you have to develop positive behavior, emotional thinking. Do you know emotional thinking? You have to be capable enough to manage your emotion. And society skills, you have to mix up with the societies. If you go to the Mongolian community, if you go to the Muslim community, if you go to the Rai community, right? If you go to some of the communities, you have to understand that society right there, okay? And high level skills. Now, not only these skills, you need to have the high level skills like excellent warmth and high mental level. Now, your mental level should be high, your way of thinking should be high, and you have to have the mental and physical relaxation. Some of the time, though you are angry, you shouldn't show your angerness, okay? Though you are making good, very difficult decisions, you shouldn't show the people. You have to relax even in difficult situations. So goal setting, you have to sell the goal setting skills, physical relaxation, and then let's say problem solving, communication, social support, standard of living. Whatever condition you are, your get-up should be good. First impression is the last impression, and you never get a chance to make a first impression or last impression. So you never get a second chance to make a first impression or last impression, right? So and then other things are, let's say, you have to have the, let's say, like you need to have the aims of the skills. What are the aims? Development, social development, experimental knowledge, power adjustment, life values, and mental development, all-round development, and then self-awareness, empathy and sympathy, and then problem solving, decision making, and the thinking process. Once you are working in a place, you have to have the 4 layers of thinking. One, analytical thinking or divergent thinking. Do you know divergent thinking? Analytical means you analyze. Divergent means if I am good, my friends should be better too, right? This is divergent thinking. Creative and critical thinking, whatever comes, that might be good, okay? And then communications. 89% of problems in an institution are created because of the lack of communication. You don't understand your class because teachers don't communicate you in a proper way. There is conflict in the family because we don't communicate in a proper way, right? Communication is very important. Communication is skill. Your 80% of your problems in life can be solved if you are a good communicator, right? So now interpersonal, and then some of the time you have to accept the criticism. No one is above the criticism. These are some of the concepts that I wanted to talk about.